Okay, this video is what I think about psychology. I was going to watch a video on psychology. There's this guy, if you type psychology, there's like a 4-part series of like 4-hour-long lectures of a guy in Berkeley talking about psychology, and I watched a couple minutes of it, but then I got bored because he was kind of talking in a monotone voice, and kind of made me reminded me of college too much, so I kind of had to, freak me out, I had to turn it off. But um, basically what I know about psychology is that, back, what was it, 1920 or something, Sigmund Freud comes up with the idea of the subconscious, the id. I guess before that, people were kind of like, I guess, more simplistic minded, and they just thought you just live your life or whatever, and nothing really, there's no underlying cause to why you do what you do that is influenced by your society. Um, and so he just kind of goes in here and he kind of tries to talk about the subconscious. So, which I guess he called the id and your ego and everything. So, basically, I think as far as, um, and I think psychology is also kind of like a integrative science where it tries to integrate your behavior into causes from biological causes as well as social causes. So they study everything, which is cool. Definitely, you want integrative sciences. There's not really a whole lot of those going around. But so like the subconscious, I think was the like something that's programmed in your mind, like you believe something and you just you do stuff because you were programmed to be like that, especially I think in your formative years until you're 6 years old. And so so like I somebody would well, basically I think the importance of these days with psychology is what I would term exopsychology. I'm sure that's a word, although I've never really heard it. And that has to do with extraterrestrial psychology, extraterrestrials. Now, subconsciously, everybody, not every, well, everybody in like almost everybody in the third world, and most people in the first world, um, just naturally don't believe that we're here all alone in the universe, and it's like subconsciously programmed into you to believe that, and so I guess it's hard for once you're programmed to believe like that because when your brain is being formed, um, you're very impressionable, and then once it's formed in there and your brain is finished developing, all of those neural pathways get locked into place. They kind of get frozen. They're not fluid anymore. They get frozen. Kind of like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Um, and then so you're pretty much convinced of one reality, and it's kind of hard to knock you out of that reality and throw you into another reality. So that would be like the power of the subconscious. So you have all these people, like in second and third world countries, who believe that we're the only life form in the universe, that there's no life form, intelligent or unintelligent, anywhere in the whole universe. And they know that, and they don't want to talk about it because they know that. And if you say anything else, then like you're crazy and you need to be locked up or something like this. So um, so the idea is to, I guess, in psychology, is to identify what you want to do is identify what is pre-programmed and what is conscious, and try and, I guess, gain control of what is pre-programmed and subconscious, so that you can gain control of your life. Like I guess addictions. Sometimes um, people have habits, certain habits, neurotic habits, washing your hands too much. That is kind of people need to kind of break free of that. And I don't know what the psychological techniques for that would be, but as far as exopsychology is concerned, people how would you, um, some people say, why don't aliens come down? Why don't they just land down? And the psychology behind that, why they don't do that, is they can't. I guess if you change somebody's subconscious, their preconceived, their pre-programmed ideas about stuff too fast, you could break their brains, cause a psychotic shock, break. Um, it's so out of their reality that um, it's kind of like somebody trying to bench press, somebody trying to squat who's never lifted weights, trying to squat suddenly 250 pounds, and then they'll throw their back out. They'll detach the ligament of their lower lumbar, and then they'll be injured. So maybe if you have a bunch of aliens just suddenly land in the middle of Santiago, Chile, with a bunch of these aliens come out that don't look like us, that's so far out of the reality of people that they won't even see what's in front of them. They'll see demons, and they'll think Armageddon because that's what they're programmed to think, and they will scream and yell and run and buy a gun and think that their brains are going to be sucked out of their ears and their eyes, kind of like in all the movies that they make. Their bodies are going to be mulched and then spewed all over the earth to fertilize the ground, kind of like in that movie with Tom Cruise. And so basically, if you're going to change somebody's id, somebody's subconscious, you have to do it. You have to do it slowly. You can't, like, if you're molding what's that stuff called? When you mold stuff, that stuff, and then if you push it slowly, it'll go. But if you push it hard, it won't want to go. It'll be hard. It's kind of like, so if you push something hard, it'll just break, and you don't want to break it. You want to push it and mold it slowly. So that's basically the psychology of extraterrestrials coming down, and why they don't come down. It has to happen slowly. So psychologically, best way to do that is, well, now I'm going into a discussion about disclosure, but I have 2 minutes left, so I guess I'll talk about that. Psychologically, the best way to bring down disclosure is to do it slowly. First, you do it through aliens talking through people, because you don't have to believe that. That's easy. And then you do it by, little flying saucers flying through people, areas where they know people will actually share that knowledge, and then they say, I heard this, I heard that. Oh, really? And then more and more people learn, and then you just increase it gradually, and then it'll just kind of grow out, and then everybody will know. It's kind of like a cancer, but a good cancer growing out throughout society. So that's basically my take on psychology. Yeah, I know it's probably not the same take as somebody else's take on it, but I didn't watch that video, so I don't really know. So there you go.